Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So when car manufacturers decide to redesign their car and get a newer model out, a lot of hope and excitement and obviously a lot of criticism involves around that particular model. And today's video is about this BMW 430i. So this is one of the cars that was really anticipated when it was launched in October, and the world was really looking forward to it. But there were sort of mixed reactions about this car, but let me explain you why it is still one of the best 4 Series that you will find in the market. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you all the exteriors, the interiors, and we'll be going on a short drive in this BMW 430i. Before we move forward, please consider subscribing to my channel and also make sure to press the bell icon so that you never miss any video updates from my channel. So the particular 4 Series that I am reviewing is the 430i, but this has the M competition pack on it. So there are a few more changes that I'll be discussing as and when we come across that, but let me start off with the front and the pretty obvious one, which are these two grills. Now hold on your guns and all your keyboard warriors before you start saying it's not even a good looking thing. But hang on, the thing is, I had the same feeling when this car was launched, but after spending 4 days and pretty much watching it every day, I can assure you that this grille will start growing on you. I mean, you will be 95% there, but you will never be 100%. I agree on that. But there's a lot more to see in this car than just the grille. But I still like the fact that the grille has been really done well, although there are lots of bigger gaps in between, and you know, there's a pipe, those silver pipes for the radiator that you can actually see from here. But yeah, I mean, if they were blacked out, then this would have looked actually nicer. But nonetheless, this grille in person looks nice. There, I said it. Now let's continue forward. So there's also the extension of this bumper, so the grille is actually going a lot more further, and it's also curved in 2 directions, and that is one of the reasons why, you know, when you see a lot of photographs, there are different angles, and trust me, I tried 4 different angles and taking the photos of this grille, and every angle had the grille in different proportions. Pretty much a lot of components on this car are completely redesigned from scratch, and this light also is one of it, and it's a completely LED cluster, and then there are LED DRLs, LED turn signals, everything, and it's even gorgeous looking thing from just inside. You know how it is completely arranged. At the bottom there is this big plastic bit around the fog lamps, and to be honest, yeah, that's a little bit of too much of plastic for me, I don't know, but yeah, it still looks all right. And there is also this vent out here, which is actually a vent which actually works to, you know, reduce the drag around these rims. And at the bottom you would find another small sort of grille that goes, so it's more like the X series of cars that you see, where you have a grille and then another grille at the bottom. And at the bottom it's pretty much a very plain, but the bonnet, if you see, there are sharp lines that go on both the sides. There are these 3 sort of sharp lines that go behind. Now the side profile of this 4 Series is absolutely wonderful. You know, it just looks so pretty because there are some soft edges and there are some sharp lines, but overall it makes the car look so proportional. And there are these 19-inch rims, double spoke rims, and you have some low profile tires, and because of the M package which I mentioned, you have the M performance brakes in here, so big brake disc in the front and also in the rear. There's also the M badging out here. There are also night lights that illuminate the floor, and the lights are actually hidden underneath the frame. These are power foldable, they have a blind spot warning, and also they are dimmable side mirrors, and these are in this black sort of shiny plastic, and there's also a black shiny trim around these windows, and these doors are frameless doors, as is with the 4 Series. And this is smart keyless entry door handle. Another big change that you will find in the 4 Series is this. So you know, it's like the soft edge. So in the previous versions of the 4 Series, you would find a sharp line that would continue till the back, but now it has been rounded off, and to be honest, it looks really nice. It's actually, you know, from the side profile, if you see, it actually looks like a baby version of the 8 Series. In the back you get this small sort of lip spoiler, and you know, give you that extra bit of downforce, and these newly designed tail lights that extend into the side profile. Now in the back you get freshly designed LED tail light cluster, and it actually looks pretty beautiful because of the way it has been curved, and this big BMW badging, and this BMW badging actually protrudes in the front. There is a bit of a chrome surround around it, which you can see from the side profile, and that way it's a pretty clean looking bumper. And also very important, dual exhaust tips, and they are actual exhaust tips and not the fake ones, or they don't have any gaps between the actual exhaust pipes and the one fitted on top of it. And have a hear of the exhaust note from this 430i. There are also these fake vents, which are again black shiny plastic. What is not the real one is this diffuser. It's just the plastic bit, like a black one. I don't know if it wasn't there, it was okay. So yeah, so there is this diffuser bit, and then there is this dark gray sort of plastic trim above that. And in terms of the visibility, the visibility is pretty all right, I would say. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. When it comes to the boot space, you get 440 liters of boot space, and this tailgate is electronically operated, so it's completely motorized. And then there is a bit of a lip out here, and also there are scuff plates so that you don't damage your bumper. But otherwise the load space, the boot space is actually quite low, so lifting your luggage and putting it inside will be actually quite easier. But it's just that the lip is a little bigger, so removing it will be a bit of a task. And also the seats are foldable in a ratio of 50:50 or 60:40, whatever you call it. But there are levers given out here, so you have to press it, but you have to push those seats down, and then you get fair bit of sorry about the bags and the paper out there. Yeah, I should have cleared that. But anyways, yeah, so you get a decent amount of boot space even after these seats are folded down, although the seats completely flatten down, so which is why you get that extra bit of room. But also the boot is shaped in a way that there are lots of arches that come inside, and also the mechanism for your boot, which is why it makes the actual opening a little smaller. There are also more storage spaces around here on both the sides. When you want to close this tailgate, you can just press the button and it just quietly closes the boot. So the first thing that I want to start off with are the seat belts. Now let me close the door, and my seat belt comes towards me. Now because this is a two-door coupe and the two doors are really long, which is why the seat belt is a little behind. So in order that I don't find it a bit of a stretch, the seat belts are coming towards me so that it's just easier to put them on. And also these seat belts have the M stripe on them, which is again a part of the M package. And when it comes to the quality of material, again, even that is pretty good in this one. And I will tell you that except some of the bits. Now let me start off with the good bits first. It's this soft touch plastic on the dashboard. On the door cards you would find the leather covered door cards, and even just at the bottom you would find the normal plastic. But even out here on the sides, wherever there are chances of body parts touching, those touch points are soft touch. And there are some places where the material quality is a bit questionable, because there is some loose sort of paneling out here where it keeps moving around. Even these buttons for the infotainment screen, they are also, when you press them, they all are sort of moving along together. Yeah, those are just some of the places where it kind of really shows that there's a bit of a work to do. And there is also this honeycomb sort of thing on top of these dashboards. Those are actually the speakers or whatever that design is. Those are for the honeycomb sort of design, and that's actually made out of plastic, and it really looks out of place on the dashboard itself. Even out here, like this design that you see in the center console, like on the sides and this cover that covers those two cup holders, yeah, this design can be really tripping if you look at it for a while. Yeah, I am already kind of Anyways, let's continue with the other bit. So you get a 12.25 inch multi information display, which is newly introduced. Again, this was introduced in the 3 series and now in the 8 series, and now it comes into this also, and this actually looks absolutely crisp and gorgeous display. The only thing is that these dials actually don't make up for the round ones which are you are usually used to watching. So these are like the weirdly shaped dials on both the sides, and they are actually quite big. You can see on your right side the information for your drive mode, which setting you are in, comfort or sport or individual or eco, and then there is also the fuel consumption that will show. There is also the total distance, your trip journey, and then there is also the different temperatures, power, and the torque that is being generated by the engine while you're driving. There is also a G sensor, so you can see how much lateral G force that you are experiencing while you are probably going to be taking this on the track or wherever you are going to be using it. And there's also the media information that you can see, and then you can come back to the original screen, and in the center you can customize that screen to show you the maps, the different information, and also under the speedometer you can show dual units, like you can show it in kilometers per hour and also miles per hour. So that is like a lot of information that you can see out here, but it's actually pretty simple to operate. That is what I like. And the center information can be changed from the infotainment screen, while the other bits on the right side can be changed from a button given out here on the left side. So that way it's quite easy to use system. And then when it comes to the steering wheel, again, this is a nice and thick leather covered steering wheel. Actually is a little too thick and padded, but it's a soft one, so it's kind of easy to get your hands around. There's also thumb support on it, and then the steering wheel is tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust the angle that you want at. And on your right side you will find the controls for your infotainment and the communication controls, and on the left side you will find the controls for your limiter, speed limiter, and also the cruise control. So you just get the standard cruise control on this 430i. There's also this M badging again as a part of the M package. There are also paddle shifters given out here. Those are just the plastic paddle shifters. Just I wish they were a little longer so that you can, while turning, it's just easy to use them, but nonetheless they are still pretty quality stuff that they have given. And when it comes to the air conditioning controls, again, the air conditioning controls are the button operated, and that is what I am glad that BMW hasn't jumped on the train where everyone is just putting all the controls inside the screen, but instead it's found a very neat and a unique way of just putting a small screen where usually there used to be a parking switch, like your parking signal. So out there they've instead replaced that with a screen where it shows the dual air conditioning control for the passenger and the driver. It's actually a tri-zone, so there is also the controls for the rear passengers that they can control their temperature and fan speed in the back. So if you want to change the settings for the air conditioning, like the air quality or the circulation, you have to press the menu option, and then on the screen you can change the different settings for your air conditioning system. But in terms of the usage, that way it's pretty easy. There's also this again design which comes on the dashboard, but out here this design looks quite alright, but it's just that when you close this lid it looks actually quite a lot in terms of the trip levels. And when it comes to the infotainment screen, this infotainment screen is a 10.25 inch, and this screen is actually pretty fabulous, and the best part about this is there's very limited glare. There is a lot of the fingerprint. It's still a fingerprint magnet, but it's still a very crisp and a clear display, and there is no reflection from it even during the bright daylight, and it's actually a very easy to use. So this system is the BMW's iDrive 7th generation of operating system, and it's quite smooth, and it's actually, out of all the systems that I have tested out of the German cars, this is actually one of the best right now. And it's very light, it's very minimal, and it's easy to use. Pretty snappy that way. There's not much of a lag, and also it's got this own data system, so it can download data and also show you like the news and also the temperature and the weather and everything according to the requirement that you have. And also it's got various functions on the side, so there are no buttons for it, but a complete dedicated button and the trackpad is given out here along with this wheel given. So this wheel is like scrollable, so you can just turn it around and then scroll through the menus. It also acts like a joystick, and the top surface acts like a touch screen, so like a touchpad, sorry. So when you are in your maps and you want to type the destination, you can just write the alphabets out here and it will be recognized on the screen itself. Hello BMW.
Hello.
Can you put the driver side temperature to 25 degrees?
No problem. I set the temperature in the driver's area on 25 degrees Celsius.
Now in terms of the connectivity, you can connect to this infotainment system using the Bluetooth. There is also the screen mirroring option. There is also Android Auto. There is Apple CarPlay, and then there is also a USB with which you can connect to this system. And then this system also has the gesture control, so you can increase the volume. Like it works pretty well that way. And also you can change the song, or if you want to change the channel, you can do that by simply just waving it in this direction or waving it in this direction. So you can change that, so you can hear the tingling noise that is coming. So, and there is one annoying thing that every time the car thinks that I'm trying to mute, because while I'm talking or while I'm doing anything with my fingers, it thinks that I'm trying to point it towards the screen. So there's this command for muting the system, and that is like when you point two fingers towards the system. So like, see that every single time. There's also a shortcut button given out here underneath the infotainment screen to change your safety systems, whichever you want to individually switch on or switch it off. So you can configure that using that dedicated button given out here. There is also the different buttons for your sport mode, the comfort mode, and the eco pro mode. The sport mode, when you press it 2 times, it will switch from the sport mode, normal, the sport individual mode, the sport plus mode. So you can switch to those modes from here. The night lights given inside this has this beautiful design, and there is this also a sunroof which is decent size, I would say, and also it opens quite big enough. Now when it comes to the storage, you can put like 1 liter worth of bottle in the door cards. There is also some more storage on the sides, and even for the passenger, there are 2 cup holders out here. And then there is also a wireless charging and like a phone storage where you can keep that. There is also the glove box, and there is some more storage on both the rear on the sides of both the rear seats, like a small amount of storage to just put your phones and wallet. There's also a center storage out here, like big enough to put like maybe one small half a liter worth of bottle, and there you will find a USB-C port. And in terms of the connectivity, that is one USB-C port which is given out here in the center, and there is one more USB plug which is given next to the 2 cup holders. But there are just two basically ports for your charging, and also there is 120 watt power socket given out here. These seats are wine red color leather seats, and they are pretty comfortable, even though the ride on the car is quite hard because of the way it has been set it up. But the seats themselves are pretty comfortable, and the best thing is that they are the side support, they can be inflated, so you can be more snug fit. The button for that is given on the seat, on the side of the seat itself. And then this seat is 8-way electronically adjustable, and then there is also 4-way lumbar control that is also again electronically adjustable. And then there is mechanical extension for the under thigh support for longer journeys. And not even that, even these headrests can actually come or like move forward and backwards. So there is a button given on the side, so they go up and down and also move forward and backwards. There is one more feature which is the heads up display, and that heads up display shows you a wide variety of information, from your speed limit to your cruise control, the speedometer, the media information, the various other information on your screen itself, and that can be adjusted from the infotainment screen. Now on this BMW 430i you get the Harman Kardon sound system, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. So the first thing to mention about getting into the rear seat is that it's actually quite easier to get in and out of this, because the seats actually go all the way till the front, so you get this big sort of entrance to get in and out from the rear seat. Otherwise, usually in the coupes, you know, it's a bit of a struggle to get in and out. And also in terms of the space, because this car has gone slightly broader and also a little bit longer, which is why you get this essential more leg space out here. Like, you know, it's not too bad for a coupe. Again, it's just that the headroom is a little cut to cut, because my head is already brushing the roof, so someone about 6 feet may be finding their head, you know, hitting the roof. But otherwise it's a pretty decent space in the back. Again, you get these leather seats, wine red color leather seats, along with this red stitching out here even in the back, and you get the same seat belts with the M design on them, and there is this big center tunnel out here. There is also a handrest with 2 cup holders out here given in the back, but when you're not going to use the handrest, which is pretty big by the way, you can also drop down the center space out here. So if there is something that you need through and through loading, or if you want to take something from the boot, you can easily take that. So let me start off this drive test by showing you all first the acceleration. So BMW claims that this 430i can do 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds. So the best way to do it is to test it out. Let me put this in the sport mode. No, actually I'm going to put it in the sport plus mode, put it in drive, and we are ready for the launch. Whoa. Whatever those claims are, they are absolutely true. They are absolutely true. Now, all that is possible because this 430i comes with a 2-liter twin turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine that produces 258 German horses and 400 Newton meters of torque. But those figures just don't end like that. So the thing is that 400 Newton meters of torque is available right from 1550 RPM and goes all the way up to 4000 RPM, while the power peaks at 5000 to 6000 RPM, which is why anytime you press the throttle, and it is always available with that rich torque and power. So this is one of the most finest curves that you will get. You know, you get an instant torque and power delivery, and it continues all the way through that rich line. And the thing is that this engine is mated to an 8-speed gearbox. Now that is also an amazing piece of thing. This whole gearbox and engine combination is unbelievable, because let me tell you, this 2-liter engine is one of the best that I have driven, like from any lineup that I have seen, because it's just so responsive and the turbos just spool up so well, and the moment you want the power, it's always there. But if you put the car in comfort mode, things are a little sort of muted, because there's not much of element of surprise when you're trying to accelerate, because it's just trying to be very easygoing and, you know, relaxed that way. But when you put the car in sport plus mode, you can immediately feel the car stiffening up, and you know, the you can hear the exhaust. The exhaust note is a little muted, but in the sport mode it definitely becomes very loud, and it pretty much changes at like 6000 RPM. The gear changes, and like the gear shifts are snappy. Like the moment you put it in the sport plus mode, everything just becomes super quick. Like even the steering response is pretty good. But the steering, when I come to that, I want to discuss about that, because the steering is just fantastic. BMWs are always a handling gem, and in this the same recipe has been given, and there is so much of feedback from the steering wheel, and you just know where the corner is and you know where you're actually going, because every time you get that feedback from the system. And also it's pretty pointy and pretty planted all the time, all thanks to, so because of that M package, you get the special suspension on this, the M suspension, adaptive suspensions, and also the steering as a result of that And because the setup is hard and it's not soft, let me tell you that you can read every single bump on the road, every single one. But I am not even complaining. Suspension, while it is on the harder side, it also improves the handling so much more. It makes the cornering so much more precise, and as a result of that, let me just try to make the rear end unsettle a little bit. Yeah, it can do that as well when you demand. So all this is possible here because of the setup that you find out here. I think if I were to change anything, I think there is nothing I would change from this, because the engine is perfect, the gearbox is absolutely fantastic, and even the suspension and the steering is bang on. Although the steering wheel is a little too paddy, which is why, you know, it makes it a little thick, but it's still soft so you can grip it. But the best mode to do is when you put the car in, you know, the paddle shift, so you can just utilize every bit of it, and even the shifts are super snappy, like you can get in any gear at any time to make that power and torque available for you. And because this car is an M package, it's got the M brakes also, and nearly ripped my face. So yeah, braking action is pretty good, very good. Now the thing is, in terms of the noise and the vibrations, all of that, again, the quality out here is just fabulous. So there is no doubt that, you know, there's not going to be much of noise inside, the road noise or the tire noise, but the noise that you really want is the engine noise, and that really comes into, and mind you, there is no artificial noise that is being, you know, played out from the speakers or anything, but just the real sound of the engine. Now when it comes to the safety systems, this car again is packed with a lot of safety systems. So you get 2 front airbags for the driver and the passenger, 2 side airbags again for the driver and the passenger, 2 curtain airbags and 2 in the back again for the front and the rear passenger. And there's also child isofix points in both the rear seats, and it's actually pretty easy to use the child isofix points because of the fact that these seats actually extend pretty much in front and allow you a lot of space to get in and out in the back. There is also a fantastic 360-degree camera system, which, to be honest, I've never seen in any car this good. So the 360 cameras, they are so smart. Like when you're reversing, it would automatically switch on different angles for you. Like if you're reversing, it would show you the reverse camera. If you're in the front one. If there's something on the side, it would switch the side camera for you, while also giving you a 360-degree camera on the screen itself. When you try to turn while reversing, it also, the cameras change their position. So it's an adaptive camera, so, you know, they would change their positions as to how the steering position is, and that's actually pretty cool. Even it works for the front cameras also. But yeah, so that's that. I mean, I'm actually pretty blown away by the quality of that camera. Then you have the ABS, then you have the various lane assist system also. So, you know, the car would vibrate through the steering wheel to let you know that, you know, you're deviating from the lane. This particular 430i M Sport package model is priced at 285,000 dirhams, and to me it's worth every penny, because if you just accept the fact that, okay, these grills are there, and to me personally, they actually look really good, and all you have to do is just go down to a showroom anywhere else and see these grills in person, and I bet you will change your mind. And the thing is also, a coupe is supposed to be, you know, really exclusive when you're driving around, and you want that exclusivity. And let's be honest, these grills somehow give you that exclusivity, because wherever I've been, people have been noticing it, because this is quite a rare thing right now on the roads, and, you know, especially a 2-door. And if you want it to be as unique as possible, a coupe, I think this is the one that you should really go for. It's even spacious, look, like really spacious for even the rear passenger, and usable space in the back. That is pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and thank you for watching this video. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.